Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. I'm Linda Karnauskas, and I want to thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, June 29th. We'll be visiting with Tim Penny from the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation. He's the executive director, and he's going to be talking to us about the new Grow the Farmers Fund. And so we're dedicating a whole show, and then later on in the program, we'll get an update at what's happening at the foundation. So you'll want to stay tuned. We want to our Owatonna viewers, we appreciate your suggestions on show topics and guests. Please feel free to contact us at the Owatonna Today Show at charter.net or by contacting the show's producer at 390-5751. We will take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with Tim Penny. So please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Recreational fires are allowed within the Owatonna city limits. They must be contained within a fire pit or a device designed for such use, and can be 3 feet in diameter and no more than 3 feet high. They must be 25 feet from a building or combustibles. Only untreated or unpainted woods must be used. Fires must be attended by a person at all times that are capable of extinguishing the fire. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hello, I'm David Einhaus with the Owatonna Foundation. Thank you to all of our donors who have helped make Owatonna a better place to live. Will you join us today with a financial gift? Owatonna Foundation is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We're here visiting with Tim Penny from the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Good to be with you.
So you have a lot going on at the foundation these days.
Always.
Tim, for those who may not know, why don't you tell a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do at the foundation?
Okay, well, the Southern Minnesota Foundation has been around 30 years. On October 13th, we'll be holding our annual luncheon, and we'll be celebrating those 30 years. But primarily, we do three things. We help smaller towns create community funds so they can invest in their own future. We invest $1.5 to $2 million each year into a variety of early childhood programs, and maybe in the second part of the show we can get into some of that. And we do entrepreneurial work. Some of that is through business lending, 25, 30 small business loans each year, many of them startup loans. And that's where this local foods slow money fund comes from. We've been doing more and more work in the local foods area as part of our support for entrepreneurial activity in the region, and an expressed need there was for kind of microloans to just help folks that are trying to grow a local foods business get over a hump and take their business to the next level.
So when you realize there's a need here for the small grower, how did
that all come together?
Yes.
Well, a few years ago, first of all, we began to notice with requests for our entrepreneurial grants and for requests for our lending that there was growing need for support for local foods initiatives here in the region. One example of that is a grant that we issued to Winona County to help them create a community garden. And many Hmong families use those gardens, and we also then provided a VISTA volunteer to work with folks to help them develop business plans and to kind of grow their business. Then more and more ideas like that came to us, and it caused us to pull together a coalition of groups and organizations within the region that are all engaged in and supportive of local foods. Some of them were healthy foods advocates. Some of them were like the food shelves within the region, the local food co-ops, the grocery stores that are now becoming established in the region. There's a sustainable agricultural group. There's a group called Renewing the Countryside. And out of that collaborative grew some ideas that we thought would help to enhance and grow the local food sector here in south central, southeastern Minnesota. One of the outcomes was what has now become the annual Feast Festival held at the Rochester Mayo Civic Center. We've held that event in the fall time frame. We've now slated, I think, for December 2nd and 3rd, the first Friday and Saturday in December for our third event. We've had 100 exhibitors exhibit their local foods produce or products at this event. We've had 40 or 50 buyers, restaurants, grocery stores, institutional buyers come and sample stuff, and a lot of purchase contracts have resulted from that. And last year at the event, we had 1,500 visitors just kind of walk through, and many of them walked out with bags of local foods items that they were either going to go home and consume or they were going to give away for Christmas presents, because, of course, this event was held just shortly prior to Christmas. So that became a great event. But this collaborative has also been bubbling up other ideas that could be helpful to the local food sector. One is we now have a peer council of local food producers who meet on a regular basis to share with one another their learnings, their experience. We bring in guest speakers to kind of help them envision what their business could be. And then this interest in a local foods fund also came forward. And so we are now at the Southern Minnesota Foundation the fiscal agent for a fund that is beginning to grow and build. We are working with our collaborative partners on guidelines as to how we intend to use those funds. And our intent right now is that this fund would be for low or no interest loans to small-scale local foods producers or processors to help them, purchase a piece of equipment, whatever it might take, in order to get their business to the next level. And I think within the next couple of months we'll have enough critical mass in terms of money in the fund, and we'll also have our guidelines spelled out so that we can begin taking applications for this assistance.
You've stated that it's collaborative. You have partners in this. Could you relate what some of those partners are?
Yeah, well, the one big partner is Renewing the Countryside. It's a rural nonprofit. They're housed over in the Wabasha County area. And they were really the ones that we worked with very closely to create this Feast Festival. And they do a lot of the legwork to create that festival. We fund it annually, as does the Minnesota Department of Agriculture, the McKnight Foundation, the Mayo Foundation, but they're the organization we work with and through to build that festival each year. We also have with the U of M a Southeastern Minnesota Sustainable Agricultural Group that has a good network across the region. We have included some of the local food co-op grocery managers in this collaborative. We have some healthy foods advocates that are part of this collaborative. So it's really a good cross-section of folks that are interested in growing the local food sector here in our corner of the state. And again, the ideas like the Feast Festival, like the peer councils, and now this Grow a Farmer Fund have really grown out of those conversations with our collaborative partners.
So a lot of those people have had success.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so
and they want others to be successful as well. And here we are, a region of the state with a lot of regional centers like Mankato, Rochester, Winona, Red Wing. And so there's a lot of potential for local foods to really become a big, to really find a local market. There's a lot of population down here, but we're also really close to the Twin Cities, where more and more restaurants and grocery stores want to be able to say that they're putting in front of their customers stuff that's homegrown here in Minnesota. So we think there's just enormous growth potential for this sector in our part of the state, and because one of our 3 areas of interest as a foundation is to support new entrepreneurs in this region, we feel that local foods could be one area where our foundation, in partnership with these other groups, could be a big, big help.
Could you touch a little bit on the Slow Money group?
Yeah, Slow Money is a group in the Twin Cities that's largely interested in equity investments and primarily interested in the local food sector. We may eventually evolve toward an equity fund of some sort to support local foods in our region, but we wanted to start with our area of expertise, which is lending. And so what we're asking is that for our fund, these can be charitable donations to our foundation dedicated to this local foods fund, this Grow a Farmer Fund. And then we will have, through our own expertise and the expertise of our collaborative partners, the wherewithal to sort of know which investments are going to be the most fruitful. And so over time, these will be very small scale. These will be like microloans. And so ours is designed to be a loan program, but the slow money idea is patient money, and it's where you make an individual investment in a particular business, or you make an investment in an equity fund, and then you trust the managers of that fund to make the proper equity investments in various businesses that are trying to establish and grow.
Okay. Now, these funds will become available.
I think we'll be operational within a few months. We're still in the process of raising dollars, and we have dedicated some of our own foundation's resources to help seed this fund. And we are now getting donations, largely from individuals, but we're also seeking out whether there are other foundations that might want to support local foods here in southern Minnesota. While we are raising money to get this fund up to a certain size, we are also working with our collaborative partners on the guidelines as to how this fund will be targeted and what the terms and conditions of the loans would be.
Now, when I hear you say local, right away I think of our city, Owatonna. And
I think 20 counties,
Yeah.
but I think local.
And the surrounding area,
Yeah.
because we are a farming community, originally a farming
Yeah,
community.
and you've got a great farmers market here.
That's exactly what the point I was going to bring forward is. We try to spend locally and support
Yeah.
our wonderful businesses here in Owatonna, as well as the farmers market. And there are some beautiful products that come in. Now, for example, these funds become available even if it was a matter of a rototill blade that they need.
Yeah, it might be something as minor as that. One area that we've already done this in is in the because we do so much work in the early childhood realm. We created a priority within our lending programs that we called our Building Blocks Loan Program. And it's really to help early childhood providers with that piece of equipment or satisfying a regulatory standard about an egress route for maybe a facility that's a basement level facility or whatever, just windows that are certified by the Department of Health and Human Services. These tend to be very small loans to help early childhood providers get over a hump and to be more profitable and to do better by their kids. This is really kind of translating that same approach to the local foods area, where just a small loan for some small piece of equipment, for example, might be all you need to get over a hump and build your business.
So contact the
Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation. You can Google us. You can call us at 455-3215 and ask us about our Grow a Farmer Fund.
So even if you're the small producer at the market on Saturday, if you need help, try.
Give us a call.
You have advisors?
And within a couple months, we'll have this program fully operational, and we'd like to be in a position to help an awful lot of folks that are trying to succeed in the local foods realm.
Well, we appreciate your work in this area and keeping it local.
Yeah,
for
thank
our
you.
producers. Thank you. We will take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we will be right back with Tim Penny, and we're going to hear more updates about the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation. So please stay with us.
Hi, my name is Ryan Gillespie with Bremer Bank Mortgage. By trusting your home loan needs to Bremer Bank, you are guaranteed a personalized, straightforward, and honest experience from application to closing. We look forward to guiding you through your next home purchase or refinance.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
I'm Bill Owens with the Owatonna Business Incubator. Whether your business is just starting out or is expanding, we have the office space and manufacturing space that you need. As the Small Business Counseling Center for this region, we are able to help you in your expansion or your startup of your business. We are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And we're here visiting with Tim Penny, from the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation. And you have other updates. Thanks for teaching us all about the Farmers Grower.
Well, we're excited about the Grow a Farmer Fund, and you'll hear more about that as time goes by. One other issue that is really current with us is the disaster recovery in Madelia. They had a fire on February 3rd that took down 8 businesses on Main Street in Madelia. And I was just there last week on a tour with the Region 9 executives and board. And all of those businesses are coming back, and they are actually in the process now of putting a new building in the space where those several buildings had been housing those 8 businesses. So it's great to see that recovery. They have a slogan in Madelia called Madelia Strong, and the community is strong because they are coming back. But we, in past years, as the Southern Minnesota Foundation, have created disaster recovery funds when there's been a major disaster in our region. The flooding in the Root River back in 2008, I believe, we went in with a recovery fund of roughly $850,000 and provided recovery grants to roughly 120 businesses affected by that flooding. We did the same thing in the Zumbro River Valley in 2010 when there was flooding there. And we were able to raise $240,000 for a recovery fund to help the businesses rebound in Madelia, and we provided grants to each of those businesses and also some grants to the business owners. I also learned subsequent to creating this program that a few of those businesses did not otherwise have insurance, so the recovery grants in that sense were very meaningful. But that city is on the recovery, and we're very excited to have played a very small role in helping those businesses come back. Because in a small town like Madelia, roughly 2,000 people, you lose 8 businesses on Main Street. That can be devastating. And if those businesses don't come back, maybe the town doesn't quite come back to what it once was. And so we're very excited that Madelia is strong and it is coming back. And with Region 9 and local banks and the generosity of a lot of donors, we've been a small part in helping with that recovery.
I bet as a foundation, it feels good
it's
to
very
be able
gratifying.
to write a check, even if it's, insurance. You don't have insurance, every little bit helps.
Every little bit does help. And the folks in that town are very appreciative of all the support that they received from so many sectors. And now, of course, the state of Minnesota is considering some assistance to help with the rebuilding in that space in downtown Madelia. And several of the businesses that were lost are going to go into that new space. A couple of others have already reopened in other locations, but again, all of those businesses are coming back.
And they're on their way back.
Yeah.
How is the Root area, the Root River
They're doing
area?
fine. Yeah, we did a survey several years after our assistance was provided, and roughly 90% of those businesses are still operational today. The tragedy of the loss at that time was enormous, but sometimes out of a tragedy, new and exciting things happen, and the vibrancy down in Rushford and the surrounding area today is remarkable. And so it really is evidence that the community in the aftermath of that tragedy really pulled together, rebuilt, and then moved forward. And I think the same thing I can see evidence that the same thing is going to happen in Medelia.
And they're beautiful areas.
Oh, gorgeous,
Just
gorgeous.
beautiful. So
Yeah.
it's great that we give them that help.
Yeah. One other new initiative that we have launched in the entrepreneurial area or the business support area is what we call the Prosperity Initiative. We received a grant from the Department of Economic Development based on the leadership of Representative Bob Gunther, who represents the Fairmont area, which is part of our 20-county region. And he really wanted a program that would focus on the unique needs of new immigrant and minority entrepreneurs here in southern Minnesota. And so we created a program, again, called the Prosperity Initiative, and it's designed in this way. We hold a training session for any and all new immigrant minority entrepreneurs to attend. And our first session was in the spring in Rochester, in which about 50 entrepreneurs showed up. And from that group, we selected 10 that we would then offer additional business training and then align them up with a mentor to work with them for several months to really help them grow, expand, improve their business operation. We're going to do the same thing in the fall in Mankato, and we hope, again, roughly maybe 50 local new immigrant entrepreneurs will show up for that event. From there, we'll select 10 that will take this additional training and benefit from the mentorship. And these businesses run the gamut. I'm looking at the list here. There's a therapeutic massage business. There's a West Oakland auto repair in Austin. There's a mini mart in Rolling Stone. There's a company called Curb Appeal, which is all about landscaping. So it's a diverse array of businesses, but what we're finding is that there are sometimes unique challenges that the new immigrant population face when they're trying to build a business, and this is designed to help them through those challenges, but also to help us learn, and by extension, maybe lenders and the SBA and other entities within the region learn how better to work with this new immigrant population.
You mentioned immigrant, so from the time they come into the country, what qualifies them for the program? Could you take us through a timeline?
Well, we don't have, we don't have that kind of criteria. It's sort of self-selection where we announce the event and we work with the Diversity Council in Mankato, Rochester, Project Fine in Winona, the Welcome Center in Austin, groups and organizations that have a good network within the new immigrant community and make them aware of what this program is so that they then help us turn out the entrepreneurs from that demographic sector.
I guess what I was saying is how new.
Oh yeah, no, we're not putting a timeline on that because the program is broadly designed as new immigrant or minority businesses, so we don't have to put a timeline on how new are those immigrants.
Yeah.
The other program that we announced just a few weeks ago is our annual paint distribution program, and this is this is really about small towns and helping smaller towns really spruce up in a way that they want a major mural in town, and you've got a couple here in downtown Owatonna, or a welcoming sign of some sort. So Ace Hardware Stores has partnered with us to help provide the paint and make sure that the community group understands exactly what kind of paint you need for this project. And among the projects that we approved recently were one in New Prague to refurbish their the band's Play On mural that they have in their downtown Main Street area. We also gave 2 grants to the Zumbrota-Mazeppa School District, one that will be managed by the National Honor Society there, and so there'll be a new school spirit banner that they will, or mural that they will paint. Another is really about building the bridge to the future, so there'll be 2 murals that will grow out of those paint grants to Zumbrota-Mazeppa. And then a youth group up in Northfield got a grant to do a mural in Northfield. So that's every year in the springtime frame that we issue these, so they've got all summer with volunteers to get these paint projects accomplished. And then we did a grant round. And our grant rounds are in the spring and in the fall, and we do several grants in each cycle. And the 4 grants that we announced just recently were to the Brown County Child Care Enhancement Project, so that's over in the New Ulm area, to the Mankato Area Foundation, because they moved into an older building, remodeled it, and they're co-located there with other nonprofits, but they have an incubator space or sort of a joint working space where they want to do some trainings so that nonprofits can improve their business practices. So we did that grant. Riverland College got a grant from us to do a boot camp for aspirational farmers, so this could coincide with a lot of our other local foods work. And then Spring Grove, we gave them a grant to focus on sustaining the existing businesses and being more entrepreneurial about attracting new businesses to Spring Grove. So, as I said, there's a lot going on at our foundation.
You sure are busy, and it just amazes me all the areas that you think that are provided for.
Yeah, well, as I said, we do largely economic development assistance and early childhood assistance, and we try to help small towns create community funds. That's essentially what we do, but it's defined by a variety of projects and programs.
Well, thank you for updating us on all that's involved. We will take a short break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back, so please stay with us.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, I'm Rich from Sign Pro and Auto Trim Design, a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. Come and see us for all your sign and truck accessory needs.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and we hope you enjoyed learning what the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation has been doing these last months. Now it's time for community announcements. A reminder that July 1st is the deadline to nominate a Steele County resident for the 2016 Male and Female Outstanding Senior Citizens Volunteer Award for Steele County. Nominees must be 70 or older by June 1st. Nomination forms are available at the fair office, from Senior Place, and from Bruce Kubicek at 451-6616, or on the Steele County Free Fair website, www.scff.org. The Next Living Well with Chronic Conditions workshop begins Thursday, July 7th, and will take place every Thursday from 5:30 to 8 for 6 weeks at the Coda Living Community at 2255 Northwest 30th Street, Owatonna. For more information, to enroll on the Living Well with Chronic Conditions workshops, you can call Linda Hoffman at 507-977-2171. The 30th Annual Steele County Historical Society Extravaganza will be held July 10th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the Village of Yesteryear. Admission is free. Don't miss our 11th Annual Chuck Wagon Supper on Saturday, July 9th from 5:30 to 7, featuring pulled pork sandwiches, potato salad, calico beans, homemade bars, and 1919 root beer. Their tickets are $15 per person, with children 6 and under free with a paying adult, and tickets are available at the Steele County Historical Society, Kotke Jewelers, and Tri-M Graphics. Well, we hope you enjoyed the show today, and you hope we'll tune in with us on Friday when our guests will be Chris Boosie and Tim Trulson. Chris, our city administrator, and then also later on we'll be on location at Little Theater of Owatonna about their upcoming production, Grace. So we hope to see you on Friday, and until then, have a great day.